All my life, I was told, "You're gonna wish that you hadn't wished your life away." And I was so gung ho about being an adult and doing everything that I needed to do. I wanted a car. Like, I bought a car when I was 13. Like, I was ready to go. I had all these things that I wanted to do, and being a kid was in the way. I was in such a rush that even though I was told certain things and taught certain things, it didn't quite click with me. As most kids, you get to the point where you think you know everything. Nobody else knows what you're going through, which is a complete lie. It's still the same scenario to an extent. And these three things are the three things that I really wish that I would have held on to and like really implemented throughout my young adult life. When people say self care, when people say love yourself, it didn't really register to me. I'm like, I don't want to sit and have bubble baths every other night. Self care, take care of yourself, treat yourself. It becomes kind of a habit of a bad situation if you're not actually loving yourself, if you don't actually know yourself, if you haven't had the time to sit down with yourself and really understand what it is that you want out of life, what it is that you want in relationships. The main thing that we all think about is a relationship, making money, and having freedom. So if you don't know what you want yourself, it's really hard to just bounce around and figure it out because everybody else is going to put on you what they want. And that was one thing that I never really understood. I just figured what was meant to be would be. And I didn't really know what I wanted because I never really took the time to get to know myself. Just having the experience of experiencing whatever everybody else that I was around wanted was what I took on as, like, a learning experience. I never thought outside the box. I just took what was in front of me and played the hand that was dealt to me. Getting to know yourself and actually loving yourself, you create those boundaries so that people don't overstep them. Not everybody that comes into your life is meant to stay in your life. Some people are just lessons. Some people are introduced to you so that you learn what it is you don't want. And then you can focus on what you do want. When you get into the habit of just allowing things to happen, it makes it difficult down the road to actually stand up for yourself, to actually speak what you want, to create and set those boundaries of non negotiables of how things are going to be. Which brings me to my next point, and that's really sticking with things, not giving up just because it's not going your way. Again, going back to just kind of rolling with the punches, if it didn't work out for me, first off, I would just let it go. Like, it's not meant to be. But that's really not how life works. Anything that you truly want that you don't know how to do is going to be a challenge. Every master had to start somewhere, and that's exactly where you're at. So again, knowing yourself and knowing what you truly want, knowing what your values are, really helps in the direction that you want to go so that you don't give up, so that you have more of a reasoning, so that you have that desire and that meaning behind that desire instead of just because you want to be a millionaire or because so and so showed you on TikTok that this is how they wanted it. Like, it's your life. Just because something works out for somebody else doesn't mean that it's not going to work out for you. You just are on your own path. Like, you have your own experience to live, and it's up to you to stick with it. Really putting forth that effort into the things that you want is just part of the process. Surrounding yourself with people who already have what you want, who've already achieved what you want, definitely helps in this scenario. But in the same aspect, it's you. You have to take in what you've already learned through your experiences and then tie in what people who are already successful have accomplished. Being open to the opportunity, being open to the advice, and then putting your twist on it. Because again, you are in charge of where you're going to go. And if you don't commit and stick with it, then you're just forever going to be starting over and over and over. And then where are you going to actually be? You're going to create that story that nothing ever works out for you because you've never stuck with it. And again, because these are things that I wish I would have done when I was younger, like really started implementing when I was younger, it's a little bit more challenging now. It's a little bit more challenging whenever you've created these bad habits. If you've ever started something in one place and then you go and you actually have a really good teacher and they're like, forget everything that you knew. It's not that easy. You have to rebuild those habits. You have to work them into the right way of doing things, into a better, more efficient way of doing things. So when it comes to money, you have to understand that anybody who has a lot of money, a good majority of anyone who has money, has been compounding it most of their lives. They've taken that financial advice that maybe they've gotten when they were younger, or they looked up and researched themselves, and they've grown their financial knowledge. I know a lot of people aren't really fond of taking the initiative to learn these things, because you work hard. When you make that money, you want to keep that money. But to truly understand how to grow your money, you really need to be financially aware of investing, understanding what a liability and an asset is, understanding your risk, understanding that it takes risk to make profit. But then there's also deciphering how much risk you want to take. Investing is probably the main thing I really wish I would have stuck with. It's easy to get wrapped up into your head and think, oh, I can do it later. I can do it later. But in reality, the sooner that you start, the more time that investment has to compound. And this is in so many different aspects. Now that I'm of an older age and I haven't followed through with my investments, I've started to learn how to work in the financial markets, how to trade in stock options and Forex. And the risk is real. Understanding what you're really doing makes a huge difference, but everything takes time. But jumping in and learning how to do these small investments to compound over time eventually will essentially be an investment on myself and be an investment for my financial portfolio. Investing in myself, learning skills that aren't going to go away. There's definitely money to be made, and investing in higher portfolios, bigger investments that will give more of a return. The sooner you start, the more you can compound. But it's never too late to get started in anything in life. New habits, investing, learning about yourself. You're not stuck where you are. All it is a choice in what you want to do. Every moment you have a choice. So get to know yourself. What are you really wanting? What do you really want out of life? Do you want the stress of having all the things? Or are you looking for more of an investment within yourself and within your family, within building connections with others, within actually living? You can have both, but it's really up to you. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments. What is it that you wish you would have stuck with when you were younger? What goals and desires are you shooting for? Until next time, bye.